All right, all right, all right. Peace, 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 peace. What it do? What it do? What up, though? Peace to the family. Aloha, aloha. Yeah. What's happening? What's going on? What's good? Shalom, hotep, and everything else that comes with that. I'm just tapping in. It's been a minute since I tapped in. It's Wednesday, so I decided let me go live and let me have a conversation with the family because you know today there was a news item that I saw that caused me to have a conversation, and as a result of having this conversation, I said I need to have a broader conversation with the family because if what spirit is telling me or what my intuition, I don't want to put everything on spirit. If my intuition is telling me, there's a date that popped up. Let me pull the article up. Now, when we talk about certain things, we got to use code, right? When we say certain things, we can't say everything because algae rhythm is out there and they keywords and everything. So we talking in code. But there was an article that said that they're mandating the U.S. military on September 15th, right after 9/11, the 20th year anniversary of 9/11, I believe, is this year, right? To commemorate a failed war, right? Because they just left Afghanistan. They left Afghanistan in defeat. They left Afghanistan in so much defeat that the Taliban immediately went to, counterattacking and taking mass cities on their campaign to completely take over Afghanistan. And when America leaves, they'll be even stronger than they possibly were on September 10th. Right? Yeah, the code word is candy. Okay. So this was a failed operation. The government that you don't think will lie to you told you with a blank face that they were going for weapons of mass destruction. Come to find out there was no such thing. Come to find out that was a doctor document. Come to find out that that was a war crime. Come to find out that it was proven in many different ways that that was an illegal war. Right? So right after that, on September 15th, there's going to be a mandate that everybody in the U.S. military get the candy. Now, let me show you and let me share with you and let me give you the vision of how chess is played. This is a simple chess move, right? For the people who would say, you know what? The thing that we have on our side in America is that the U.S. armed forces will never turn against its own citizens because some of the citizens are family members, and that's just an un-American thing to do. So we could sleep easy at night knowing that our brothers and sisters who put on the fatigues and pledge allegiance to the flag and are protecting the nation and whatnot, we know that they're going to protect us, the people. And I'm here to let you know that the way that warfare and the way that chess is played, the minute they force the forces to take that, to put that in their body, right? The people who already feel like because they belong to the military, they're in the upper tier or they're a little bit higher in ranks than the average person, it would, at that point, if they're inoculated, do you think that they would ever hesitate to make sure immediately, if it's on September 15th, you don't think by on September 16th and onward from that point there, that their main mission in their minds is to make sure that everybody else on the planet gets to have that pathogen in their bodies? They're like, hell no, if we're gonna be the guineas, then everybody's gonna be with us. Think about the mentality of American soldiers. You talk about individualism and privilege. Nah, if they force these people to get the candy, you need to make plans and decisions immediately for a scenario where you know that if they mandate them to do it, it's only a matter of time before it's mandated that everybody, especially in the borders of the USA, is going to be mandated to do that. I mean, all signs are pointing to a scenario where that's gonna happen. I think before 2022. You know, they got a new governor coming in into New York State. A new governor, the lieutenant governor. I don't even know what her politics is, but she's about to be the governor of the most important state. You know, one of the most important states in the whole union. And then the mayor, I mean the governor who was previously in that seat, he publicly went out there and told the people about the mandates and about what you can't do when it comes to the candy and whatnot. He was actually not all the way against the people. You know? Somebody said that they're going to fight back. And rightfully so, they will. And there's going to be those that are not going to have the candy that are in the armed services. I'm talking about the ones that are going to take it. I'm talking about the ones who will eventually, succumb and go for what they know to be all that they can be. I would bet you any amount of money that it's gonna be more of them than it's gonna be people who are gonna flat out say, you know what, I'm gonna just hand in my I'm gonna hand in my fatigues. So, I'm just as a concerned citizen, I would highly suggest that the brothers and sisters who care, who have concerns, you feel me, about uh you know their overall health, right? And their family's health, that you just pay attention to what's taking place. You know what I mean? Definitely pay attention to what's going on because it looks like they maneuvering to on the chessboard. It's just basically what it is. I can't call anything. There's no such thing as an ending because there is no ending to the games that they play, and the way that we fight back, because it's a cat and mouse game. It's been going on for as long as I known y'all. You know, there's always been some type of conspiracy. There's always been someone conspiring. There's always been groups of individuals, you know, doing what it is that they do, poison in the water, poison in the air, doing everything that they could do to fuck with God's children. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I know who we are. I know what our people represent. I know the days and the times that we're living in. I know how important the days and the times are living in. I know what they're trying to restrict from taking place and happening. And I see things that's happening regardless of what anybody has to say. You know? We're a week away from the versus battle. Niggas is still talking about that shit. Bars. You know, the culture still got potential. The culture still worth $1 trillion. Is not today the birthday of the culture? This is according to the this is according to the government. They gave hip hop the birthday of August 11th. And according to what I heard, it's another birthday to it. But regardless of anything, hip hop has a birthday. So that culture is alive and well. Salute to everybody that's doing what it is, doing their best to uphold the culture, being honorable to the culture. You know what I mean? Being studying your craft, representing the culture, and not making the culture look bad. And there's many aspects of hip hop culture. It's a whole plethora of things. So yeah, peace was good. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be long winded either. You know what I'm talking about? Like I don't want to. This ain't about doom and gloom because I don't talk doom and gloom. But it's an honest question. It's an honest question that I would ask the family out there. You know, if you had to make a decision to get up and just move or leave where you're at, if they had a man, let's say that the state that you lived in, say that it's mandated that everybody in this state has to basically get the candy, are you gonna just pack up and go to like Florida or Texas, or are you gonna stay and like try to wiggle your way through that shit? You know what I mean? Do the underworld, living in Zion, and moving through the Matrix, or are you gonna go to a place like Texas or Florida, or maybe another country, or maybe another, yeah, maybe another country, maybe another continent for that matter. You feel me? And if you was to make moves like that, it would have to be very soon because they about to lock all of that down. Do I recommend Florida? You know what? The two states, Florida and Texas, based off what I seen them doing with the critical race theory and a few other things, it just showed me not to, I don't trust them. I feel that, those are the round them up states. You know what I mean? Like Texas, they be like, "Oh, come down here. You don't got to get your vaccine." And then once they get everybody in that quote unquote circle, once they get everybody, riled up, and it's almost like they could have a culling of the people. They could cull you more easier. It's the whole slaughterhouse mentality. Texas is like a big farm. It's that type of shit. Yeah, yeah. All of y'all come down here. We got you. We don't. We're gonna make sure. That's that Texas talk. The Lone Star State. You know what I mean? That cowboy talk. We're gonna stand the front line. You guys won't ever have to wear a mask. Get behind my Colt 45. Dag nabbit. You know what I mean? Like that. They have that tough guy Texas mentality, but I don't necessarily trust it as far as I could see it. You understand? I wouldn't just pack up, and if I went down there, I would be on my P's and Q's because I don't trust Texas or Florida for that matter. Somebody said PR. I don't trust. Yo, the way that they finna have this shit in a minute, the way that the media is spinning people against people, the way that they are slowly conditioning socially, they're socially conditioning the people to function in the same way that they functioned in the movie The Matrix, when Neo and them was running through the Matrix, Trinity and Morpheus and them, the people were turning into Agent Smith. Why is that? Because the Matrix turned the people into see something, say something. The Matrix turned the average everyday person into an agent of the state, right? And it was almost like an inquisition. So whenever they saw the energy of Neo, and back in the days in the Matrix, the Neos of today would be walking through the Matrix without wearing masks, you know, without going through all of that other shit. They might have fake vaccine cards, but you know, they're the unvaxxed living in Zion, eating the slop, wearing the burlap. You know, niggas they don't have 5G. You understand? They don't have the same kind of access that the people in the Matrix had, you know, but you're unplugged from this Matrix. But you know what I mean? You're not online with the people who are online in this new Matrix because you don't have the technology in you. That's what I'm seeing. And the people is your own people is gonna be Agent Smith. You you come in the crib, you like, yo, thank you, mama. Thank you for letting me in. Let me go to the bathroom to wash my hands. Whew. Man, I was on the run. You come outside as Agent Smith in the living room. Mama's Agent Smith. She worked for the state. She's down with the Inquisition. They're going to make the people who are vax hunt down and turn in the niggas that are not. If it has to boil down to that, that's what it's going to boil down to. Eventually. I'm not saying this is an overnight thing. But if you don't see the angle in which they are socially the conditioning the people, they don't have to condition them that much. The language is already out there. You know what I'm talking about? The language is already out there. You know, the language is already out there. They already blew the dog whistle. The propaganda is appealing to people that need an excuse to feel good about a decision that they may have made, and they're ready to project and deflect. And you, my friend, are the person that they're going to deflect and project to. So you might want to move like motherfucking Neo and Trinity and Morpheus in the Matrix. You play with it if you wanna. You trust the people around you who you think is your peoples if you wanna. You keep playing. You don't have a motherfucking plan. You don't have Tank and Dozer ready to pick up the phone for you, nigga. You don't have an escape route to get to Zion. I don't know what to tell you. Because that's where it's headed, bro. That's where it's headed. All of the days of people sitting around, lollygagging, you know, mentally masturbating and just doing nothing, gossiping and shit, you know, it's a shame that it's gotten this far. And nobody is asking for, you know, any type of, what's the word? Accountability. Accountability. You know? You got to live for the now. And in my humble opinion, the now is looking like we need to talk about what to do now, or how to think, or where to put our resources, because now is important. You know, now is important. And what I see as well going into 2022, coming out of 2020, when people made their quote unquote, they made their affirmations and they spent time with themselves and they slowed down on the hamster wheel and they saw a future and a vision of a future that can exist beyond the shit that they saw, right? So as we move forward every single day, it's almost like you're being forced to separate from those who are not on your frequency. There's all kind of things going on in the quote unquote world or the reality that's forcing people to really stand in a lane, or to basically stand in whatever you know, whatever frequency that you represent. You know what I'm talking about? The separation of the wheat, the separation between mice and the men, the separation between what you call a real and a fake, the separation between a lot of things. I see it taking place. There's friction going on, right? but there's also repositioning and realignments taking place as well. You shaking off a lot of people. I don't, to be honest with you, me personally, I really don't even like being around people at this point. It has nothing to do with anybody personally. I'm just very cautious about my energy. I'm very protective of my energy. I have a seed. I don't want nobody around my seed at all. I could do without that shit. I don't want no energy around anything that I'm dealing with in my immediate life. You know, I don't want to bring my family to the picnic to hang out with niggas. You feel me? I don't want to go on the block. You know what I mean? I don't have no aspirations whatsoever to be fake kicking it around nobody right now. I don't have the energy for that, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't even want it. So the aspect of isolating and the aspect of really just getting out of the way and not trying to be, in the way or, in a place where I don't need to be. I'm like, this is kind of good when you look at it. Like, this will force me to get up and just go places and do real work with real people, because if the times are gonna be real like that, then it's just a challenge to me. You know, it's just a challenge to me. It's all good as long as it's productive, and as long as people is not wasting my time and playing with me, because that's not, you know what I mean. That ain't it right there. And I'm talking about from the highest levels of godhood all the way down to the knuckle dragger. You know what I mean? Everyone between the spectrum. You feel me? It doesn't matter, bro. Like, it really doesn't. From superstars, you know what I mean, to the average Joe at the corner store. You know, it's a lot of non-essentials in my existence, and that's not being facetious. It's just saying, like, I see things differently. You know, I just see things differently. You know what I mean? Respect to all of the legends, everybody who contributed to positive memories, all the entertainers, you know what I mean? All of the athletes, everyone who keeps this motherfucking simulation going, everybody who feeds it content, everybody that's content creating from the gate, everybody that's part of this Truman Show. You know what I mean? Salute, my niggas. I appreciate you. It would be facetious of me to be like, I don't appreciate you niggas, from the mumble rappers all the way up to the legends. Everybody plays a part. You mumble rappers had to exist to make me appreciate niggas like the Locks and the Nas's of the world. It took you mumble rappers. It took Rolling Loud, the 800 fucking artists that I saw in that. It took the 8,000 Lils on Spotify for me to really appreciate the existence of the fucking living off of experience, the LOX. Niggas who I knew was them niggas in 96. And it took him all the way to 2020 so we could have a unanimous decision. You know what I'm talking about? It's nothing like a unanimous decision, you know. And when the people, appreciate you, and appreciation is shown from the collective, from the from the group think, from the whole, from the fucking nation. It's a great feeling, bro. Believe you me when I tell you, there's no better feeling than that. To be appreciated by black people, melanated people, some of the hardest people to please and to have appreciate you. The people, that's the only people who it matters. Think about it. Yeah, white people will praise you. No offense to the white people in the audience. Yeah, Europeans, Asians, and people, Turks and whatnot, they'll praise you. Russians and everybody, the Italians that throw roses at our feet, right? But that doesn't do it for us. That's not it right there. You want your nation to give it up to you. You want your peoples, young, old, in between. You know what I'm talking about? You want them to give you, that's the true value. What are you talking about? Wealth. Nigga, that's the true wealth. That's peace right there. That's peace of mind. That's an anointment that you can't buy. You can't trick nobody into giving you that. That's a fucking 800 credit score. That's the people, if niggas is like you the best rap group ever, they not gassing you and whatnot. They're just giving you, they're reading your stock valuation to you. They're just analyzing, your worth. They're giving it up in ways that people, because everybody knows when niggas is nice, they just don't tell them. You know what I mean? It'd be a secret and whatnot. When everybody is around legends and whatnot, niggas keep secrets. But when they forced to give it to you and read your credit score to you, like, nah, son, nigga, you nice. Like, you them niggas right there. Like, nigga, I'm not gonna keep holding it back. Like, I'm gonna let you know. You know what I mean? That's a good feeling. You could take that to the bank. That can extend a nigga's life another 10 years. Look at all of the rappers that died. You know what I mean? Rising power to all of them. Imagine if they would have felt the love. DMX felt that love in the verses. Him and Snoop, he felt that love. He felt that love, but what if he rocked the crowd? What if he was at the garden? What if he was outside, nigga? He was cooped up in the studio with Snoop Dogg doing crip walking and whatnot. What if they was on the big stage? Because that's what rappers do. They perform for millions and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. They celebrating his birthday today, right? That's what hip hop, that's what real hip hop is about. Even when they was rocking at the park, everybody could rap in the mirror. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody is nice in the studio and whatnot. When you with your mans in them. Everybody is that nigga in the in the living room like Chief Keef in them with his mans in them. But when you on stage in front of hundreds of thousands of people of all denominations and you rock that shit, nigga, God tier. It's something different about that. That is the immortalizing aspect of what hip hop represents as a spiritual system, as a divination system. Okay? Because there's aspects of hip hop that are beyond the mundane. There's an occult aspect to what hip hop is. And there's not many artists that tap into it. But I'm here to let you know that shit takes place on them stages. It's not the only place, but on them stages is where man turns into God. That's when your shit taps. That's when you tap in. You can see the future. That's when you tap in. That's the rush that they be chasing their whole life after that. So salute to the locks. Salute to the Dipset. Or the diplomats for that matter. Cause I saw a video with Hell Rel, J.R. Ryder, and 40 Cal. And I was reminded that the real Dipset included them. The diplomats is those three that you saw on the stage. But the Dipset was not Jimmy, Cam, and Santana. It was them and Hell Rel and Max B and 40 Cal and Unkasa and my nigga J.R. Ryder. Those were the pins. They had pins, big pen energy when it was those niggas on the mixtapes. Okay? That's the Dipset. And the diplomats who came out with the mixtape before they got signed to Rockefeller when he was doing the Paid in Full movie, or they might have been on Rockefeller, I don't know. The Dipset Volume 2, 3, Diplomats, I mean, the mixtape, it was two of them, and then they came out with the double CD on Rockefeller. That's the Diplomats. That's who they were battling. They was not battling. Yeah, they wasn't battling Dipset. So they should change that. They should change that. They should fix that title and whatnot, because somewhat misleading. Because the D Block is not the Locks. The D Block, they would have had to bring out J Hood, right? But they battled as the Locks. They didn't battle as D Block. They battled as the Locks. And then that was those three MCs that are the original Warlocks, right? They called the Warlocks, and Puffy made them change it to the Locks. Like Puffy changed the nigga Murder Mace into Mace and Betha, right? I was murder. P. Diddy made me pretty. I did it for the money. Now can you get with me? And who was, if anybody been following the narrative, I said that I said, yo, the Locks gonna bring out Mace for niggas done started something. And then you heard him say it on the Breakfast Club that they was gonna bring out Mace, but somebody called it off. I'm like, fuck that nigga, overkill. You wildin'. I'd have flew him in. I'd have flew him in. His verse is golden. That verse that he has on Niggas Done Started Something, low key, could take on a lot of those Dipset songs. Not every one of them, but that verse from Mace, that's one of the illest mixtape classic verses. If niggas know Clue Tape Jeopardy, you know what I mean? You know when that song came out, that shit was bananas. That shit was bananas. Yes, he should have brought Mace out. That would have took my boy up out of that beach chair, and they would have took that shit more serious. What are you talking about? That was Murder Mace. Thank you. That was Murder Mace. Yeah, yo, it sound goofy by me even saying it right now. That's how crazy shit is, later on down the line. But my nigga, you had to be there to understand what I'm saying. That was Murder Mace, and Murder Mace was ringing bells in New York, my nigga. He was ringing bells on the mixtape circuit. What are you talking about? You feel me? He was ringing bells, and then he went pretty. Then he went commercial with the shiny suits, and the Locks broke out of the shiny suits. Remember, Puff lined all them niggas up. He was minor. He was trying to buck break niggas back then. He lined all of them niggas up. He had Mace and the Locks in the shiny suit. The Mace had to break out of their contract and become D Block. They couldn't even really use that name, and they had to go ultra hyper masculine. They went beyond what they was already on. They went hyper masculine in order to shake off that shiny shoot shit. Cause niggas don't like moving around the city like that. Nigga, that was a cross that niggas don't want to bear. That's a cross niggas don't bear. Not walking around, you niggas talking about shiny suit niggas, and y'all looking at me. You know what I mean? They would have been looking at like them niggas was moist or something. Cause the streets wasn't wearing no shiny suits, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? DMX wasn't wearing no shiny suit. So by them getting with DMX, it maintained their integrity. I fucks with that decision. They made the right choice. They made the right choice. They remained, who the fuck they came out as. They didn't switch up. They didn't try to do no double, no una bacasa, una, but they didn't do the, cause Cam's, Cam switched his flow up in a crucial time. Cam switched his flow up, and niggas and niggas got lost. Shit, it wasn't the same after that. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't the same after that. It was all good just a week ago. You know? So, I got computers putin'. You get shot at. I do the shooting. When he went all the way in with the Barney rhymes, niggas, he lost niggas, Cam was everybody's favorite for a minute, and then he started computers putin'. I need the boosters boot. That was a lazy flow. That's lazy flow. That's not bars, my nigga. That's a lazy flow. I got holy molies, roly tolies, gnoli nolies, poly rollies. Yeah, SDE and Confessions of Fire. That was, oh my goodness. Even, sex, drugs, and entertainment. Confessions of Fire. That nigga was different, bro. That's a different Cameron. That's Chubby Cameron. That was a different flow. He had a different mind state, bro. Very lazy flow. I ain't mad at him though. He did what he had to do, man. Cause Cam got his moments. Don't let me get on here and start shitting on the boy. Cam got his moments. I take nothing away from him. Jewels, when he was cooking, he was cooking. He was cooking. I don't know when he stopped cooking. When did the kitchen close for Jewels? But when he was cooking, he was cooking. You know, hey. But after I Can't Feel My Face, after Wayne came up, I don't know. It's like I didn't, no more. Then Jimmy was carrying these niggas for years. You know, stay off that lean. You niggas trying to be too cool out there. Yeah, go and watch Joel Santana. Just put it on mute, nigga. Go watch the verses on mute and go zero in on your mans and them. You niggas want to keep sipping on lean and popping pills, huh? Yeah. He's an example of what not to do with your fucking tour money. Yeah, Jim is still working. I respect Jim's grind. Out of the whole Dipset, like, no, not to compare any of them, but Jim is the hardest working. He was hard working back then. He was multi talented. He was behind the camera, in front of the camera. He found his way. You know, he found his way. I just hope he don't get jammed up with they out there setting traps. I hope he don't get jammed up in those traps that the agent provocateurs are setting and whatnot, because you know, that'd be counterproductive. That'd be counterproductive. Somebody said Santana was their favorite. Yeah, yo, you gotta be. Yeah, when I was down south, Santana was a lot of people's favorite. Santana was a lot of people's favorite. You know, and then like I said, Wayne, like when Wayne started going crazy on the mixtapes, and he just went to a whole nother level. Niggas stopped hearing about Dipset. You know what I mean? It was all Lil Wayne from there on. And then this new era came with the Drakes and the Nickies. You know what I mean? We talking '05, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That they run was crazy. You seen the Big U interview? See, I don't want to talk about, like I said, I'm minding my business. It's a lot of shit going on out there on the Chitlin circuit, and I'm not even. I'm really just reserving the right to be silent, and I'm just talking about people who could come up with, you know, um, solutions about where to take these children and where to lay low while this shit, works itself out. You know what I'm talking about? That's really what I'm gonna entertain. Cause I could be on this shit and turn into Charlemagne the God with the Breakfast Club and start the rumor report and talk about all of the crazy shit that's going on the nigga net. But I'm not even gonna do that because that, you know what I mean? It's a lot of low energy things going on. And shit. The whole vaccine situation that's low enough. Somebody said Freaky Ziggy was wildin'. Yo, Freaky Zeke is always wildin'. Yeah, shout out to Zyx Institute. That's right. Shout out to Q Butter. You know, that part. Did I see the cop out there in Cali, the OD on fentanyl? He didn't even touch it. Nah, I ain't see that. What's Freaky Zeke's sign? I don't know. Freaky Ziggy the hype man. He always been throwing himself around, going crazy. Yeah, I must not remember Freaky Ziggy. Freaky Ziggy always been acting crazy, bro. It just wouldn't look that crazy if they wasn't losing. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga look crazy because they was losing. It's like, damn son, you can't dance while niggas is losing. It don't work like that. You know. Yeah, somebody said he gave you Scorpio vibes. That's a possible, you know. That's a possible. He a little too crazy to be a Scorpio though. Joyner Lucas and Mills and Mass is holding it down. Bada is in your top five. Yeah, that's yeah. Bada's in my top five. He's a Libra. He's a Libra. Freaky got a song with Lil Wayne. Yeah. Yeah, Freaky is a funny dude, man. I just remember posting a video of him when he was talking about when he had got shot on Queen's Flip. He's mad animated. He do sound effects and everything. Libras run this. I didn't get the memo. My bad. They do. I didn't get the memo. I thought they said Virgos ran shit. Libras are wild, but my dad is a Libra. I don't see him dancing on stages like that. Bada is in your Mount Rushmore when it comes to bars. Cam should have came with the pink for the Pele Pele. Like, where was the pink range? You niggas is in Madison Square Garden, and you couldn't pull up in the pink range, nigga. Where's the pink mink? You can't have a. There's no pink Gucci minks. Dapper Dan couldn't make you a pink suit, nigga. Niggas wanted pink, bro. You know what I mean? Like, where's your marketing skills at? You know what I'm talking about? Somebody said Scorpios run this. I didn't even think that had to be said. You know what I'm talking? I didn't even think we had to say anything. You know, it's a given. You know, shout out to all of the Leos out there. I fucks with the Leos. You know, I got a lot of Leo people in my life, in my court. You know, Leos are loyal when they want to be. They should have brought on another rapper besides Ziggy. No, but you gotta understand, the Zeke is also part of the diplomats. You know, that was the diplomats up there. That wasn't necessarily Dipset. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, where was the pink horsepower? Like, my man, what are you doing? No pink horsepower. No pink. He's supposed to have the pink velour on or something. You know what I'm saying? No, J.R. Ryder is definitely underrated. Yeah, you come into NYC to strong in. Okay, I might be out there. I'm not 100%, but I'm gonna let you know what's popping. I'm gonna ask around. You know, what do you think about the whole Royce and Lupe versus Mickey Fax? Well, I think Mickey Fax spazzed out. You know, I think Mickey Fax caught a body. Yeah, he definitely caught a body. You know, he laid him out. Nas' album is a classic. I listened to that Thursday night right after the Kanye shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a hip hop head, bro. Like, I fucks with the culture the long way. Like, this culture sustains me. Hip hop saved me. Like, Thursday last week was a magical day. That was the day of the Kanye shit. He did the album release, and then right after that, Nas album dropped at midnight. That was a good night for me. You feel me? That was a good night. Yeah. Yeah, the Royce track was definitely fire. The Royce track was definitely fire. But Mickey Fax came with some fire, and then he didn't follow up on that. That's all I'm saying. Mickey Fax spazzed out. And Lupe spazzed out too. Lupe was picking them apart. I didn't listen to the Lupe thing the first time with all of my, I was listening to it, but I didn't hear shit. The second time around, I heard it more clearer. I'm like, okay, someone's going in. But Royce is nice. I thought he was gonna follow up. Picture Hove and Nas doing the verses. I mean, it's only right at this point. There's like 5 more classics that can happen in the verses. Yeah, somebody said Royce is down 2-1 respectfully. And I followed respectfully. Like he's down 2-1. He could come back. I think the days expired. He let the locks and that shit take over. The days kind of, you know what I mean? Hasn't the statute of limitations expired? This nigga can't file an appeal. He can't. What is he gonna come out with, a late response? Nobody. They cleaned him up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? They said that they jumped his ass too, so that wasn't fair. But this is what I respect. They said if you want to claim to be the nicest and that you a God MC, you got to make it past the final boss. You know, real artists, if you really an artist, you will watch that verses. You'll listen to that battle rap that happened with Royce and Mickey Fax and Lupe. If you really about the craft, like the locks explained, being dedicated to the craft. This is a craft. Too many people hop into the hip hop shit and having gone through the years of experience and the dedication and whatnot and the training that it takes to really be a superstar, a real artist. There's no more A&R. They're not grooming artists like that. They're not even, you know what I mean? They're not creating superstars anymore. The way that you perfect your craft is that you watch the masters at play and then you adjust accordingly. I will never hop out on stage until I get my stage show super tight. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do it to myself. I'm gonna take from what I as you know what I'm gonna take lessons as I'm seeing. I'm gonna be like, you know what? The universe showed me something. That's a lesson right there. You gotta have your shit together. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta have your shit intact. You gotta have the craft. You have to perfect your craft. You know? You gotta perfect your craft. And if you really about the craft, you gotta dedicate your time and your energy because this shit has benefits to it that all of the artists they don't unlock it, I don't feel, because they're in this shit for the money. They're in it for something totally different. If you just in it to hustle and you just want to sell a few hats and shirts and things like that and get some groupies, oh, this shit will work for you. Cassidy will not mop Tory Lanez. I'm sorry. Drake versus Kanye. They got to get somebody from the big. They got to get some of the whales in there in the verses. You still got Kanye. You still got Drake. You still got Nas. You still got Jay-Z. You still got J. Cole. You still got Nicki Minaj. You still got Cardi B. Right? There's a lot of artists that are called like top tier artists in that sense. They there's a lot of people who haven't came outside. Future, you still got, well, he said Meek, you know. And then how can I forget? You still got Kendrick. I named a whole bunch of other people. Probably could have just stuck to the Mount Rushmores. Kendrick, Nas, J. Cole, Kanye, right? And Drake. Future meets Kendrick. Come on, don't do that. Oh, and Lil Wayne. How can I forget? And Lil Wayne. How can I forget? These are what are called legacy artists, right? Busta Rhymes. Okay. I'm saying, oh, I didn't even mention 50 Cent. I didn't even mention 50 Cent. How rude of me. These are the legacy artists that if the Versus brand or the Versus franchise, if they want to reach, if they want to break records that haven't been broken before, if they want to top what them niggas just did in Madison Square Garden, they're going to have to get one of these legacy artists to duke it out, break the internet. It can happen. I'm putting all faith out there. It could happen. Niggas saw this lock shit. They don't want to get hurt like that. But if there's artists out there that know the craft, it can happen. I think did they say Beanie and Nori is gonna happen? 50 versus Fat Joe. Why y'all keep pushing that? 50 versus Ja. Damn, that's right. Shit. That's what I want to see. 50 versus Ja. Even though that could be a body. You know. But both of them are ill performers. Right? Both of them are ill performers. Both of them got street shit. Don't sleep on Ja Rule. He got street. He got gutter shit. And they both got hits. You know. Jeezy versus Gucci was the highest viewership. Was that 1 million? What did that hit? Because I was in the building for Jeezy versus Gucci. Did that hit 1 million or 2? What did that hit that night? I know it garnered numbers later on. I want to know what it was in the building that night. That's right. Kim versus Foxy. It's a no-brainer. That needs to happen. Fuck that. We put in. I want anybody from the Tunnel era. No offense to the new artists. I didn't even mention Outkast. No offense to the new artists and whatnot, or the artists that came out in the 2000s. I still want to fuck with the people from the Tunnel era. That's Nas. That's Mobb Deep. That's the Locks. That's Mace. That's Cameron. Not really the Dipset. That's Cameron. When you talking the Tunnel era, the Dipset comes in later on. That wasn't the Tunnel when the Dipset comes. I wanna hear those artists because they're attached to a whole fucking different wave, bro. Tribe Called Quest, you know, even though it wasn't being played in the Busta, Wu-Tang. I didn't even mention Wu-Tang. You know, M.O.P. Right? Is their catalog long enough? Beyonce versus Mary. Mobb Deep, bro. That's a scary sight. Scarface, definitely Mr. Scarface. Yeah, Cash Money versus No Limit. Set it up. That's the battle right there. Cash Money versus No Limit. For the records, you know what I mean? Somebody bring out Pastor Troy. We need that for the culture. Nicki versus Cardi. Right? Once she dropped Baby Number 2, let's go. Or she could do it at 9 months. That'd be lit. Ice Cube versus Jay-Z. What are you talking about? There's only one battle for Jay-Z, bro. You know that. You can't give him nothing else. There's only one foe. There's only one nemesis. There's only one that's equal. That's LL Cool J. Now I'm just playing. That's Nas. Nasir Jones. Anything else is uncivilized. Anything else is uncivilized. It's a waste of my time. I wouldn't even tune in. I wouldn't even tune in. You know? Boozy versus Plies. What about Boozy versus Trick Daddy? I probably want to see that. LL versus Buster. Ooh, that's serious right there. I want to see Rakim versus Big Daddy Kane. That would break the internet. That would break the internet. That would show people something that they probably don't even know. With those two artists, Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, that's a battle right there. I promise you. I shit you not. I want to see Lil Wayne, but I can't take modern. You know what I mean? I can't take current Lil Wayne. Like, it's not even gonna hit right. It's almost like seeing Joel Santana on that stage. He gonna come out dressed worse than Joel's was dressed, looking crazier than Joel's looked. It just won't do it for me. Kendrick versus Drake. Maybe. Because I'm trying to think of an art. Well, Kendrick versus Kanye. No, Kanye versus Travis Scott. I think that would be lit. I think that would be lit. Queen Latifah versus MC Light. Queen Latifah versus Yo Yo. You know? Queen Latifah versus Yo Yo. Kendrick versus J. Cole. Uh, you think so? You think so? That might happen. Yeah, that kind of that's not unfair. But look, my time is up, y'all. I'm out. Third Eye Thursdays tomorrow. Peace.